All right, so let's dive into something super practical today.
Oh, okay.
How to totally ace a job interview for a textile technologist position.
Nice.
You got your eyes on this really cool field, and we are here to help you make a killer first impression.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a fantastic career path, especially now with all the innovations that are happening in sustainable and smart textiles. Like companies are really on the lookout for people who have the skills to blend the traditional with the cutting edge.
Exactly, and we've got some really awesome resources that we're going to use to help guide us.
Okay.
A career guide for textile technologists, an interview guide,
Nice.
packed with sample questions,
Yeah.
and we'll even touch on how RoleCatcher's AI can give you a little bit of an extra edge in your prep.
Oh, nice.
So first things first, for anyone listening who might not be totally familiar with this, what's the big picture here?
Yeah.
What does a textile technologist actually do?
Yeah, so think of them as the guardians of quality and efficiency
Okay.
in the entire textile production process. From the moment those raw fibers come in to the finished fabric rolling off the line,
Okay.
the textile technologist is making sure every step meets the highest standards.
Nice.
They work with designers, production teams, even down to understanding the chemistry and mechanics of the machines
Wow.
involved.
It's a lot more than just knowing your fabrics then.
It is.
Like this career guide mentions things like analyzing chemical properties and conducting performance tests.
Right.
Sounds pretty high tech.
It absolutely is. And that's why these interview questions go beyond just the basics, you know?
Yeah.
They want to see not just your knowledge, but your problem-solving skills, how you adapt to challenges,
Yeah.
your passion for the field.
Okay, well, let's jump right into those questions then.
Okay.
The first one that's in this interview guide is a classic, what led you to pursue a career in textile technology? Seems simple enough,
Yeah.
but I bet there's a right and a wrong way to answer this
Oh,
one.
you're absolutely right. The
Yeah.
key here is to be genuine and specific. Saying something like, oh, it just seemed interesting, isn't going to cut it. Think about what really sparked your interest.
Okay.
Was it a family connection to the industry? A fascination with the science of materials? Mm-hmm. Maybe you're driven by the sustainability aspect and want to make a difference there?
That's a really good point. Hiring managers are looking for people who are truly passionate, not just filling a slot.
Yes.
So what if someone has a background in a different field, but wants to transition into textiles?
Yeah.
How should they approach this question?
I think that's a great opportunity to highlight transferable skills.
Okay.
Maybe you've got experience in engineering, chemistry, or even design.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all relevant to textile technology. The key is to connect the dots for the interviewer. Show them how your previous experience has prepared you for this new role.
It's all about telling a story that
Yeah.
resonates with what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Now, the second question in the guide is about experience. What experience do you have working with different textile materials? I imagine this is where you really get to showcase your technical knowledge.
Absolutely. This is your chance to shine. Be specific about the types of materials you've worked with, the techniques you've used, and even the challenges that you've overcome.
Okay.
If the job description mentions specific materials like performance fabrics or sustainable options, make sure you highlight your experience in those areas.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy, right?
Yes.
It analyzes those job descriptions.
Yeah.
It points out those key words
Yeah.
and helps you tailor your answers perfectly.
Exactly. It's like having a personal assistant who knows exactly what those hiring managers are looking for.
So cool. And don't worry, if you haven't worked with every single material under the sun,
Right.
what matters is that you show a willingness to learn
Yes.
and adapt.
Yeah.
If they ask about a material that you're unfamiliar with, be honest, but demonstrate how you would approach learning about it.
Right.
That's a good tip. Shows initiative. Okay, on to question 3. Can you describe your experience with textile testing and quality control?
Okay.
This sounds pretty technical.
It is. But remember, clear communication is key. You want to avoid using too much jargon that the interviewer might not understand. Instead, focus on explaining the purpose of the tests you've conducted, the standards you've adhered to, and how your work ensures top-notch quality. Think about real-world examples. Maybe a time you identified a flaw in a fabric and how you solved that problem.
Those stories stick with people,
Yeah.
much more than just listing off technical terms.
Right.
Speaking of stories, question 4 asks, How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and developments in the textile industry?
Okay.
I feel like this one's where you show them that you're really passionate
Yeah.
and committed to this field.
It absolutely is. Don't just say you read industry magazines.
Right.
Be specific.
Okay.
Mention publications, conferences, you've attended online forums, anything that demonstrates you're actively engaged in the industry's evolution.
What if someone is newer to the field and doesn't have a ton of experience to draw from? What would you recommend they focus on?
I'd suggest highlighting their eagerness to learn.
Okay.
Mention specific areas of the industry they're interested in, key figures they follow, or online courses they've taken. It's about showing that you're proactive and dedicated to continuous learning.
I like that. Okay, question 5 gets into project management. How have you managed complex textile projects in the past?
All right.
Seems like this is a really good opportunity to talk about leadership and problem-solving skills.
Absolutely. Choose an example that demonstrates your ability to handle multiple moving parts.
Okay.
Meet deadlines, work effectively with a team. Don't be afraid to talk about challenges that you face and how you overcame them.
Yeah.
It shows that you're resourceful and resilient.
Honesty and self-awareness are very valuable traits.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to question 6. How do you approach problem-solving in your work? This seems like a question that can trip people up if they are not prepared.
Yeah, it's all about showing that you have a structured approach to problem solving.
Okay.
Describe your process, how you gather information, analyze data, and consider different solutions. Maybe you use a specific framework like Six Sigma or lean manufacturing.
Yeah.
Mentioning those can demonstrate your commitment to continuous improvement.
This career guide actually mentions those methodologies as valuable skills for textile technologists. It's really interesting to see how the information in this guide connects directly to these interview questions.
Yeah, it all ties together.
It does.
The interviewers are looking for candidates who not only have the technical knowledge, but also the mindset and approach that aligns with the industry's best practices.
Speaking of best practices, question 7 focuses on safety and compliance. How do you ensure that textile products meet safety standards and regulations?
Okay.
Seems like a big deal, especially with the increasing concern about ethical and sustainable manufacturing these days.
Absolutely. This is where you demonstrate your knowledge of relevant regulatory bodies and industry standards. Be specific, mention testing procedures you've followed, certifications you've obtained, or even initiatives you've led to ensure product safety and compliance.
So it's not just about knowing the rules, it's about showing your commitment
Right.
to ethical and responsible manufacturing practices.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's move on to question 8. How do you approach working with cross-functional teams in your work? I think this gets at the collaborative nature of the textile industry.
Yes.
You're not working in a silo.
Right.
You're interacting with designers, production teams, quality control, all sorts of different people.
Yeah.
So how do you effectively communicate and work towards that shared goal?
This is where you showcase your interpersonal skills. Give specific examples of how you've collaborated with colleagues from different departments.
Okay.
Highlight your ability to communicate, clearly resolve conflicts, and build strong relationships.
And remember, this interview guide encourages you to use the STAR method.
Yes.
Situation, task, action, result.
Yeah.
It helps you structure your answers in a clear and concise way that interviewers love.
It's a great framework to keep in mind.
It is. Now we've covered those 8 core questions. But there's often a 9th question that can really catch people off guard. Do you have any questions for us?
Right.
And this isn't just a formality. It's your chance to show that you're engaged and curious. So what are some good questions that you could ask that would really impress a hiring manager?
Asking about specific projects or challenges the team is facing shows that you're thinking about how you can contribute.
Okay.
Inquiring about opportunities for professional development demonstrates your commitment to growth.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask about company culture.
Okay.
It shows that you're thinking long-term and you want to find a place where you'll thrive.
That's great advice. Asking thoughtful questions can really set you apart from other candidates.
Yeah, it also gives you valuable information to help you decide if this is the right fit for you.
Okay, so we've covered the interview questions, but there's another piece to this puzzle.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI. We've touched on it a bit, but I want to understand better how it can actually help someone prepare for a specific job interview.
So imagine this. You've got your resume ready to go.
Yeah.
You're about to hit send.
Yeah.
But before you do, you run it through RoleCatcher's CV resume builder.
Okay.
It analyzes the job description that you're applying for, and it flags any skills or keywords that might be missing from your resume. It even suggests specific improvements to tailor it perfectly for that role.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having an AI recruiter on your side, making sure you're putting your best foot forward.
Right.
And what about the interview itself?
Yeah.
Can RoleCatcher help with that too?
Absolutely. Think back to those interview questions that we just discussed.
Yeah.
You can practice answering them out loud, and RoleCatcher's AI will give you feedback on your delivery, your content, even your tone of voice.
Wow.
It's like having a personal coach helping you refine your communication and make a killer impression.
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Right.
That's incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I feel like we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more to discuss about the textile industry, the career paths, and the exciting advancements happening right now.
Absolutely. And that's what we'll dive into next.
Okay.
We'll explore the different career paths you can take as a textile technologist, how to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving field, and how you can leverage your skills to make a real impact on the industry.
Sounds good.
Let's kind of pick up where we left off.
Okay.
Thinking beyond the interview and what a career in textile technology actually looks like.
Yeah.
You mentioned advancements and impact. Those are spot on.
Yeah. This career guide lays out a few different paths that you can take. And it's way more diverse than I realized.
Yeah.
You've got the traditional route of moving up in production management, but then there's specializing in areas like dyeing and finishing.
Right.
Even R&D.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Right?
Imagine being on the forefront of developing like those bio-based fabrics we talked about, or figuring out how to integrate electronics into textiles for smart clothing. Or like those e-textiles are basically blurring the line between fashion and technology.
Hold on, back up a second.
Yeah.
You've mentioned smart textiles and e-textiles a few times now.
Yeah.
But what exactly are they?
Okay.
I'm picturing like clothes that can change color on command or something.
That's not too far off. Smart textiles are basically fabrics that have been enhanced with technology to give them additional functions.
Right.
Think about sportswear that monitors your heart rate, or hospital gowns with sensors woven in to track patient vitals.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like the textile industry is becoming more and more intertwined with other fields.
It is.
Like electronics and even healthcare.
Exactly. And that's why continuous learning is so crucial in this field.
Yeah.
The career guide even suggests certifications like Six Sigma or lean manufacturing to boost your efficiency and problem-solving skills, which are applicable across industries.
So it's not just about like staying current on fabric trends. It's about constantly expanding your knowledge base.
Yeah, right.
Curious, what kind of person thrives in this kind of environment?
Someone who's naturally curious.
Okay.
A problem solver and adaptable to change.
Okay.
The textile industry is fast-paced and innovative, so you need to be comfortable embracing new technologies and finding creative solutions to challenges.
Makes sense. Let's go back to those career paths for a moment.
Okay.
This guide mentions different levels, like junior textile technologist all the way up to chief textile technologist.
Yeah.
What are some of the key differences between those roles?
Think of it like a ladder. You start at the entry level, assisting senior colleagues getting hands-on experience. As you gain knowledge and skills, you move up to managing projects, leading teams. And eventually, you might even be overseeing the entire textile production operation for a company.
This guide even provides some sample profiles of people at different stages of their textile career, which really helps paint the picture.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see how those individuals progressed, taking on more responsibility, specializing in certain areas, and ultimately making a significant impact on the industry.
Makes it seem more attainable, seeing those real-life examples.
Yeah.
Now, we can't talk about the textile industry without addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Sustainability.
Right.
Seems like every industry is grappling with this right now, but textiles have a unique set of challenges.
Absolutely. We've touched on eco-friendly materials, but the environmental impact goes way beyond that.
Okay.
Think about water usage in dyeing processes,
Right.
energy consumption in manufacturing, and the waste generated at every step.
Yeah, it's a very complex issue with no easy answers.
It is.
What are some of the innovative solutions being explored right now?
There's a huge push towards closed-loop systems that minimize waste and pollution. Companies are experimenting with waterless dyeing techniques that use less energy and produce less wastewater. And of course, the development of those bio-based fabrics we discussed is gaining momentum.
So it sounds like the industry is taking some serious steps towards a more sustainable future.
It is.
For someone who's passionate about the environment, a career in textile technology could actually be a way to make a tangible difference.
It absolutely can.
Yeah.
Now, remember those interview questions we discussed earlier?
Yeah.
Thinking about sustainability can actually be woven into your answers to make you stand out.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Like when they ask about staying up to date with industry trends, you can mention your interest in sustainable practices and specific initiatives you're following.
Exactly.
Right.
Or even when discussing problem solving, you could highlight a time you found a way to reduce waste or improve efficiency in a production process.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It not only shows your knowledge, but also your commitment to sustainability,
Right.
which many companies are prioritizing these days.
Absolutely. Speaking of companies, let's circle back to RoleCatcher for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we talked about using its AI to tailor your resume and practice interview answers?
Yes.
Well, it goes even deeper than that.
Oh, really? How so?
RoleCatcher can analyze specific job descriptions
Okay.
and identify the key skills and experience that particular company is looking for. It's like having insider information on what will impress those hiring managers.
So it's not just generic advice, it's customized to each job you apply for.
Exactly.
Wow. That's incredible.
And here's the really cool part.
Okay.
RoleCatcher can even suggest ways to rephrase your answers to better align with the company's values and mission.
Okay.
Let's say the company emphasizes innovation in their job description.
Mm-hmm.
RoleCatcher might suggest highlighting a time you experimented with a new technique or came up with a creative solution to a problem.
Wow. It's like having a personal branding expert guiding you through the entire job application process.
Exactly. It helps you present yourself in the best possible light, highlighting the aspects of your skills and experience that will resonate most with that specific company.
I'm starting to see how RoleCatcher could be a game changer for anyone trying to break into the textile industry.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool that can give you a real competitive edge. Okay, we've talked a lot about the practical aspects of landing a job,
Yeah.
but I want to shift gears for a moment
Okay.
and talk about the bigger picture. Why should someone choose a career in textile technology in the first place?
Yeah.
What makes it so rewarding?
That's a great question. It's easy to get caught up in the interview prep
Right.
and forget about the passion that drives us. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about pursuing this path?
I'd say textiles are all around us.
Yeah.
They're a fundamental part of our lives, from the clothes we wear to the furniture we sit on. Being a textile technologist means you're not just working with fabrics, you're contributing to something that touches everyone's lives.
It's a tangible way to make a difference.
Yeah.
And with all the innovations happening in the industry, from sustainable practices to smart textiles,
Right.
it's a career that's constantly evolving and pushing boundaries.
Exactly. If you're someone who loves to learn, who's fascinated by the science and art of textiles, and who wants to be part of a dynamic and growing industry, then this is the field for you.
It's a field with endless possibilities. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've tackled those tricky interview questions, explored different career paths, and even uncovered some secret weapons with RoleCatcher.
Absolutely. We've also delved into the complexities of sustainability and gotten a glimpse of the exciting innovations shaping the future of textile production.
But before we wrap up, I think it's important to address one more thing.
Okay.
The mindset that's essential for success in this industry.
You're absolutely right.
Like, skills and knowledge are important,
Yeah.
but it's the right attitude that will truly set you apart. So what are some of the key personality traits or mindsets that are crucial for thriving as a textile technologist?
I'd say adaptability is key.
Okay.
The textile industry is constantly evolving, so you need to be comfortable with change and eager to learn new things.
So being a lifelong learner is essential.
Absolutely. And along with that, a good dose of problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Things rarely go perfectly in textile production, so being able to think critically, troubleshoot issues, and come up with solutions is crucial.
Resourcefulness is definitely a valuable trait.
And let's not forget about communication skills.
Wow.
You'll be interacting with people from all different departments, suppliers, customers, so being able to communicate clearly and effectively is a must.
Yeah, it sounds like a career that requires a blend of technical expertise, people skills, and a proactive mindset.
Exactly. It's a challenging but incredibly rewarding field. You're creating something tangible, you're contributing to an industry that impacts everyone's lives, and you're constantly learning and growing.
For anyone listening who's feeling inspired, what's one piece of advice you'd give them as they embark on their textile technology journey?
Don't be afraid to network.
Okay.
Reach out to people in the industry. Attend conferences, join online forums. The textile community is incredibly welcoming, and there's so much to learn from others who are passionate about this field.
That's great advice. And don't forget about the resources we've discussed today.
Yeah.
The career guide is packed with valuable information, and RoleCatcher's AI can give you that extra edge in your job search and interview prep.
Exactly. Use these tools to your advantage and go after your dreams.
Well said. It's been an incredible deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from interview tips to career insights to the future of sustainable textile production.
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll be interviewing you for your dream job in textile technology.
That's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time on the Deep Dive on the Deep Dive.